Katepal is an internationally known manufacturer of roofing shingles. Katepal roofing shingles are made of high-quality SBS elastomer bitumen. Their properties: weather tightness, low noise, elasticity, frost and UV radiation resistance are important in harsh climatic conditions. Katepal Oy's extensive range of bitumen roofing shingles comprises almost 40 options, suitable colors and types for any project. Each roofing shingle package contains installation instructions. You can also find all brochures and installation instructions on our website at www.katepal.fi. The roof has to be sufficiently steep, the minimum pitch being 1 to 5. Roofing shingles should not be installed on lower pitched roofs. The handiest way to ensure that you have all necessary materials in sufficient quantities is to use the material calculator you can find on Katepal's website. You will always need underlay felt, drip edges, eaves and ridge shingles, roofing shingles, ceiling compound, and roofing nails, possibly also valley covering penetration sleeves, suction ventilators, and sheet metal screws. The most important tools are a hook end knife and a hammer. You can also use a pneumatic nail gun for roofing nails. In addition, you need sheet metal shears, a steel spatula, and a tape measure. You may also need a caulking gun and a hot air gun in cold weather. A solid board decking is always installed over the roof trusses, preferably rough-sawn T&G boarding, or alternatively, moisture-resistant board. The roof should have a sufficient ventilated space, and the ventilation must also function properly. To ensure air exchange, the extraction vents are situated as high up as possible. The decking thickness depends on truss spacing. The deck boarding or plywood sheeting stiffens the roof structure. A wooden deck also effectively balances any condensation. A solid base is safe to walk on, and on it all penetrations and details can be sealed securely. A solid deck combined with bitumen roofing also provides good sound insulation. Super underlay sheet is your first choice of underlay. Its polyester reinforcement layer combined with SBS elastomer bitumen makes it extremely tough and durable. You can even hold up your roofing work over the winter and safely rely that super underlay alone is sufficient to protect your building. When using other lighter underlays, it is recommended that also the shingles are installed as soon as possible. The underlay may be installed over the roof either horizontally or vertically. The steeper the roof, the more advisable it is to install the underlay felt vertically, from the ridge to the eave, to avoid wrinkles on the underlay. Installation of the underlay always starts from the valley if the roof geometry allows. First, you install a strip of underlay along the base of the valley. The sheets over the slopes are overlapped with the valley sheet by 14 to 15 centimeters. Their ends are cut along the direction of the valley, and they are carefully bonded down over the entire width of the overlap. In vertical installation, the installation of the underlay felt starts from the verge. The upper end should be nailed down first. The product should be tightened before nailing down the lower end. Sheets loosely installed in cold weather tend to wrinkle easily once the weather warms up. Underlays with adhesive edges are quick and easy to install. At eaves, the membrane should extend 2 to 3 centimeters over the boarding, forming an intermediate drip edge. When permanent drip edges are installed, the edge of the membrane is folded underneath. In horizontal installation, the work starts at the eaves and progresses towards the ridge. Drip edges should always be installed at eaves. To avoid problems that might be caused by thermal movement of the metal drip edges, fixings must be nailed at close intervals. Drip edges are fixed with either roofing nails or sheet metal screws. At drip edge joints, a small wedge is cut off the edge of one length, and the sections are overlapped by about 5 centimeters. To ensure a weather-tight and neat result, drive 2 roofing nails through the joint. It is also recommended to install a drip edge at the verge. At valleys, a valley top felt matching the color of the shingles should be used. 70 centimeter wide sheeting fits in the valley between the joints of the underlay. The valley sheet should be glued and nailed with roofing nails along its edges. Ensure that the sheet is firmly against the base of the valley before fixing the edges. Eaves shingles, which in practice are square-cut roofing shingles, should be laid along the eaves. Remove the protective film. The lower edge of the eaves shingles are aligned 1 to 2 centimeters from the edge of the drip using butt joints. In warm weather, they bond to the drip edge immediately, and there is no need to nail them. In cold weather, the adhesive surface may be heated gently with a hot air gun, or alternatively, the eaves shingles may be nailed along the upper edge to ensure that they stay in place. The nails of the first row of roofing shingles should also penetrate the eaves shingles. When installing shingles, it is recommended to mix a batch from 4 to 5 packages so as to avoid color variations. Do not remove the protective film from the underside of the shingles until immediately before installation. The first row of shingles should be installed over the eaves shingles so that the tips of the shingles are in a straight line 1 to 2 centimeters from the lower edge of the eaves sheets and cover the joints between them. Roofing shingles should be nailed with roofing nails sufficiently long to penetrate the roof deck. Nails that are too short are gradually pushed up due to the moisture movement of the wood and loosen the glued joints of the shingles installed over them. If you do not want the nail heads to show on the underside of the deck, flat-headed sheet metal screws may be used instead. Each roofing shingle is fixed with 4 roofing nails over the recesses of the pattern so that the nail also penetrates the previous shingle below. In this way, the nail presses the adhesive surface of the shingle tightly against the previous shingle and secures the bond. The shingles of the following rows should be aligned so that the tips meet the recesses of the previous rows. Once the work has progressed to the ridge, the surplus that would extend over the ridge is cut off. At valleys, the ends of the shingles should be cut to align with the valley angle 10 to 20 centimeters from the base angle and glued carefully to the valley sheet. The minimum width of the bond is 10 centimeters. At the valley sheet joint shingles should not be nailed down, only glued. At verges, the shingle ends should be cut along the verge edge and glued to the drip edge with sealing compound. You should cut upturns of color-matching felt at chimney abutments and other vertical surfaces meeting the roof surface. The flashing around a chimney is made according to the pattern printed on the backside of the wrapping, using 4 pieces of membrane extending at least 30 centimeters above the roof surface. In a log frame building, such as you see here, you should first construct a plywood collar around the chimney and then glue and anchor the upturns to it. In this case, the apron flashing should only be attached to the chimney, allowing the upturn to settle along with the log frame and the roof. Once the installation of the roofing shingles has progressed to the upper edge of the chimney, the upturns are bonded to the chimney and over the shingles. They are then anchored mechanically at the top end and the cuts for the folds are made. The folds that wrap around the corners are then carefully glued and nailed if needed. The installation of shingles above the chimney continues so that the upmost upturned sheet remains under the shingles. Last comes the apron flashing of the chimney. Other upturns are made by using top felt strips with a width approximately 50 centimeters, correspondingly turning up by 30 centimeters. The strips are glued to the wall above the roof surface. The upper edge is then anchored mechanically, i.e., by using roofing nails. Circular penetration, such as drain stack pipes, suction ventilators, etc., are constructed using suitable plastic or EPDM rubber sleeves. The sleeve components are glued and nailed or screwed down over the underlay. A hole that matches the pipe geometry and position as closely as possible is cut in the shingles, and they are carefully glued down, spreading adhesive over the entire surface of the flange. If necessary, the base joint can be sealed separately. Once the shingles have been installed up to the ridge on both sides, the ridge capping shingles should be installed. You get 3 ridge shingles by bending and tearing a pre-cut eaves sheet into equal pieces. The ridge shingles are laid over the ridge so that the adhesive edge covers the overlap and fits over the previous ridge shingle. Each piece should then be nailed with 4 nails over the non-adhesive side of the piece, so that the adhesive edge of the following piece covers them. The ridge shingle should overlap by at least 5 centimeters. In a finished roof, the shingle pattern and colors form a harmonious unity together with the other parts of the building. There is no need to install ugly snow guards thanks to the rough surface of the shingles. Bitumen roofing shingles do not cause noise in rain or wind and thus enhance living comfort. All Katepal roofing shingles comply with the required fire rating for roofing, B-Roof T2. Katepal roofing shingles crown the look of your house, and correctly installed last for decades, protecting the building in all weather conditions.